Peace and good day. Peace and good day. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And today is November 5th, 2018. And we're going to resume our reading from Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a minute or two to get set up here. Let's see. I always like to bring the chat room up because I do like to interact as much as possible with everyone on the live stream. And so if anyone does make it into the chat room, that would be a beautiful thing. And okay. So I got the chat room set up, and gonna get this posted to social media. How is everyone? How is everyone? Let's see. I am indeed getting over my laryngitis, the laryngitis, and my voice, at least how it sounds to me, it isn't usual. It's not its normal self. Okay, so let me see. Let me get this set up. Hold on one second. Getting this set up, and it's a good way to spend a little bit of time just to see if notifications get out, see if our regular people will show. We'll get started. I just made my cup of tea, and in this tea I put some marshmallow root, a little bit of slippery elm, and what else did I put in there? Oh, some collagen in my green tea this morning. Let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. Okay. All right. Bear with me. Then we're going to get started. And one last place. And usually what I like to do is that when I start these YouTube lives, I know the first couple of minutes. Good day, Pavel. Good day. The first couple of minutes, I'm finishing getting set up, and I usually put the mark where the actual parts of the program are. All right. So hold on one second. Let's see. I like to bring up the chat room so I can see it from across the room. Okay. So we have our Kuan Yin. We're going to touch base with the Kuan Yin aspect of the Divine Feminine. And we can do hexagram reading. However, I do not remember what hexagram we are on. So let me just take a quick gander and get that settled. I have no idea where I put my one pair of glasses. Okay. All right. So we're going to do our reading from YiJing, Book of Changes, and our Lao Tzu. And let me just see if I can. Okay, 15. So were we on hexagram? Yeah, I think we were on hexagram number 15 the last time. Hexagram number 15. Let me just make sure I can get that. No, yeah, so we were on 16, which is enthusiasm and motivation. So what I'm going to do, since I have the YiJing reading up first, I'm going to go ahead and do the YiJing reading from the book, Seeking the Spirit of Change, and then we will do the hexagram and the Kuan. And actually, before the YiJing book of reading, we're going to do Lao Tzu. We're going to do the Tao reading. So just let me get this together and let me get out. Allow me to find our oracle card for the day, for the hexagram, and then we are good to go. So just 1 minute, looking through all these beautiful cards. So what happens with me in the morning is my routine during the weekday is to, it would be nice if I could get up at 5 o'clock every morning and get some things done, but sometimes my body just needs more sleep. But I get up around 6:15, 6:30, get the little one out to the bus stop. We leave the house by 7. Here we go. 7:10 at the latest. Get him to the bus. This morning I went and picked up 8 gallons of water, refilled my water bottles, and came right on over. Okay, so we're going to read from the Tao Te Ching. Let me just... Thank you, Pavel. Well, I've been, I'm not sitting over in my quote-unquote studio area because I just needed a break. I don't know how people can spend 20, 30, 40 years sitting in a cubicle. So I wanted a break from that area. And right now I'm sitting on my futon sofa, which is, in my living room. I'm a grown woman, but I like things simple. I like futons. I like pillows. I like to just keep things really simple. So anyway, I have bookshelves everywhere. And then since I've been doing these lives with the, Kuan Yin and the I Ching, all of my books are right there. Welcome, Zakia. So they're sitting there. And I figure, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so let me take a sip. Oh, that's wonderful. And you know what my cup of tea is missing? Some raw honey. So give me 1 moment and then we're going to get started. I promise. Okay, I am back. I just stepped over in my kitchen to get a teaspoon of raw honey and ginger. So this is what I have. This is my 70s mug. Purchased 2 of them at the secondhand store, and I have green tea in here, some powdered collagen, some marshmallow root for my throat, a little bit of slippery elm in there for good measure, and I just put a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and what else? Raw honey, local raw honey from just down the road. So, okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for, oh gosh, don't even apologize for typos. It's the internet. We're texting. Typos happen. It's not a formal missive. So, hey, don't even worry. We can figure it out. So anyway, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Tamu Ngina, Priestess Heart. I appreciate you coming to share your energy, even though I can't see you. I can feel you. You can't see me right now because I haven't had a desire to want to be on camera lately, but it's beautiful that we can connect all over the globe, all over the country, whatever country you're from, and join together for a little bit of fellowship. So let's take a moment to take a nice deep centering breath as we enter into this sacred space. There you go. Welcome. And the crystals you see in the front right now are carnelian, energy stone carnelian, and rose quartz. Carnelian and rose quartz. Two of my favorite stones. Okay. So we're going to do the hexagram. No, wait a minute. I got that wrong. We're going to do our reading from the Tao. Okay. We're going to read chapter 41 from the Tao Te Ching, a book about the way and power of the way, a new English version by Ursula Le Guin. She is also the author of the book series Earth Sea. Just learned that recently. Okay. So let's see how close up in here I can get. So I always think it's nice to show the book while I'm reading it. On and off. Thoughtful people hear about the way and try hard to follow it. Ordinary people hear about the way and wander onto it and off it. Thoughtless people hear about the way and make jokes about it. It wouldn't be the way if there weren't jokes about it. So they say, the way's brightness looks like darkness. Advancing on the way feels like retreating. The plain way seems hard going. The height of power seems a valley. The amplest power seems not enough. The firmest power seems feeble. Perfect whiteness looks dirty. The pure and simple looks chaotic. The great square has no corners. The great vessel is never finished. The great tone is barely heard. The great thought can't be thought. The way is hidden in its namelessness, but only the way begins, sustains, fulfills. So there you go. All right. Okay, so again, we are back with our daily reading, Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change. And this is by Master Zhangjian Wu. Just getting some things situated so I can get a little bit closer behind the camera without knocking it over. Okay, so we are on part 6 now. In part, are we on part 6 or part 7? I think we're on part 7. The last time we were together, what did we read? The last time we were together, we read The Secret of the Universe. Okay, we read The Secret of the Universe. And that led us into tea and the Tao. It was a very beautiful reading, so I encourage you to check it out. So today we are on page 47, GUA. 47, GUA. Trigram or hexagram. And of course, any place where I'm reading I, speaking from the point of view of Master Zhang Wu. As I discussed in Vital Breath of the Tao, the original function of the Chinese characters was not merely to serve as a means of communication. Rather, the characters were intended to serve as a vehicle for channeling universal wisdom and for connecting with nature. It will be very helpful for understanding the YiJing book if we first construe the original meanings of the Chinese character GUA. And just for those, so that we can make sure that we're on the same page, here's an illustrated version of the I Ching, and right over here in the corner, which is the traditional representation of the hexagram. These are the GUA, or the Bagua and the GUA, okay? Just so we can have a visualization. The whole text of the YiJing contains only 64 GUA, or hexagrams. Although each hexagram has a different name, we refer to any hexagram as GUA when we talk about it. I believe the Chinese character GUA carries the spirit of the YiJing. The way we study the deep meanings of Chinese characters, especially those in the ancient classics, is similar to the way we taste tea. As I take a sip myself. When we drink the tea, we need to slow down and feel the different kinds of energy in each small sip of tea with different parts of the mouth and the heart. When we try to gain insight into the flavor of Chinese characters, we need to follow in the footsteps of the ancient sages who invented these characters. For instance, as we check the dictionary for the meaning of GUA, it might say symbols used in ancient divination. Yet, we may find a much more interesting meaning hidden within the character itself. Let us take 3 sips of tea and pin GUA. So we're going to stop for a second and take 3 sips of our tea and savor the GUA. And you remember from our reading last week, Master Zhang Wu, he described as you take the sips of tea, you first, a little sip at the front tip of your tongue, savoring that, and then allow it to flow to the back of your tongue, feeling it in your entire mouth, your entire being, your heart, and then swallow. Okay. So we just had our 3 sips of tea and pin GUA. Study the deep meaning of the Chinese character GUA. The Chinese character GUA is made of the left radical GUI and the right radical Bu. Most Chinese dictionaries will give the meaning of the Chinese character GUI as a jade tablet with a square base and a triangle top. Oh, let's get that page turned. This one's going to be a little difficult. Page is not wanting to turn this morning. There we go. So wait a minute. Let me get the last one. A jade tablet with a square base and a triangle top used in official ceremonies in ancient China. You can see that image over on the left, right there. But dictionaries will not tell you why a gui was needed in ancient ceremonies and why it was made of jade with a square base and a triangle on top. An obelisk, kind of reminiscent of ancient Kemet. Interesting form. The original meaning of gui may give us, or gi, not quite sure how to pronounce that in the Chinese or the Mandarin. The original meaning of the gi may give us some indication. Gi is related to territory. It has the meanings of measurement, sundial, and platform. This character is made with two of the same radical tu, earth or clay, on the top and on the bottom. It is the pattern of an earth platform, and it is the place where the Wu, ancient Chinese shamans, observe the universe or perform their spiritual rituals to connect with universal energy. And for those of you who remember from our reading, when gaining their knowledge of the understanding of the universe and universal energy, what did the Chinese Wu, what did the Wu do, the ancient Wu do? They affixed the directions to the center of the universe. And where was that center of the universe? Right in the center of their own being, center of their own physical body. So when we think of this infinite universe, and it's like, well, where's the center? Where's the center? The center is wherever you are standing. Just a little, my own observation and recollection and interpretation of what we read. So let's continue. The function of gui is to connect or communicate with the ancestral spirits of nature or nature spirits during an official ceremony. The ancient Chinese shamans understood that good quality jade could hold high quality qi. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know, we like to think of the use of crystals as new age, as a modern interpretation. You have right there that the ancient Chinese shamans, they understood that good quality jade held very good, high quality energy, qi, life force, or spiritual energy. And they used many different types of jade ritual objects during their ceremonies. Again, you think about it, using crystals for energetic purposes, ceremonies or healings. It's not New Age. The ancients did it. And look at the massive accomplishments of the ancient Wu of China, ancient Chinese Wu. They've given us so much that 2,000, 3,000 years later, it's still relevant. The YiJing, the Book of the Yellow Emperor, traditional Chinese medicine, the meridians, all of this is still relevant today. And doctors of Chinese medicine today are graduating from schools in China and in the United States. One of my cousins is a doctor of Chinese medicine. So there's something to this. Okay, let's get back to this. The ancient Chinese shamans understood that good quality jade could hold high quality qi. or spiritual energy, and they used many different types of jade ritual objects during their ceremonies. The square base of a GUI represents earth and stability. The triangle top of a GUI represents the Trinity or three powers of heaven or the universe. Therefore, it stands for the harmony within heaven, earth, and the human being. We should understand that a GUA, trigram or hexagram, and remember, here's the GUA right down there. Please never mind my lack of manicure. I'm a massage therapist. I work with my hands. I still tend to my plants in the dirt, so my nails are not always presentable. So excuse me. We should understand that a GUA, trigram, or hexagram holds the spiritual connection with heaven, earth, and the human being through the above information about GUI. The Chinese character Bu means divination or to divine. Bu looks like a pattern of cracks, and it is also related to two pieces of animal horn. Before the Zhou dynasty, which was 1027 to 256 BCE, ancient Chinese shamans used two forms of Bu to do the divination. The two forms are Ribu, which was hot style divination. Here, two Bu right here, two pieces of animal horn. And Lingbu, cold style divination. Numerous unearthed oracle bones indicate that Ribu played the main role in Shang dynasty divination. That was from 1600 to 1027 BCE. No one knows the details of the Ribu divination skills now, but some Lingbu divination techniques are still alive in certain rural areas of southern China. Thank you, Pavel. During a Ribu divination process, the Wu would burn a scapula bone or tortoise shell. The bone or shell would break during burning, and a pattern of cracks would appear. The shaman could get an answer to the question through the pattern of cracks. The pronunciation of Bu is related to divination as well. The moment the bone or shell cracked in the fire, it made up the noise Bu. Therefore, the moment the shaman heard the sound of Bu, it's probably like Bu, not sure, Bu, thinking of Buddha, or Butsu, which is Japanese for Buddha, Butsu. So I think maybe it's Bu. He got the pattern. That was the answer for the divination. So therefore, the moment the shaman heard the sound of Bu, he got the pattern. That was the answer for the divination. This relationship between the divination and the pronunciation of Bu also appears in the Lingbu divination process. During a Lingbu divination process, the Wu shaman placed two pieces of horn halves in front of him. So there you go, horn halves. Then burned incense and prayed for answers to his questions. Next, the shaman picked up the horn halves and threw them on the ground. The moment the horns hit the ground, they made the Bu noise and revealed a pattern. The shaman could get an answer to his questions from this pattern. Actually, let's raise that up a bit. Actually, Almost none of the methods of YiJing divination described in the YiJing books on the market are about Bu. Those other methods are related to the older Chinese character Shi. This Shi divination was developed in Zhao Dynasty. This method has been passed down to us over 3,000 years. Okay, let's take a minute. Let me get a little sip because my throat's getting a little cracking. For over 3,000 years, people have been consulting the YiJing. Can we take a moment and let that sink in? 3,000 years, people have been using the YiJing to understand the movement of the energy, the movement of the Tao, the movement of the energy in their lives and surrounding their lives. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. The Chinese character Shi is made of the top radical Zhu and the bottom radical Wu. Zhu means bamboo, and it represents things made from bamboo or grass. Wu means shaman. So Zhu, Wu. Or was that, wait a minute, which one came first? The top is Zhu, yes, Zhu and Wu. Zhu, Wu. Zhu means bamboo, and it represents things made from bamboo or grass. Wu means shaman, and it represents a predictor. Therefore, Shi literally means a shaman who uses bamboo sticks or yarrow sticks as tools to do a prediction. So I'm going to take a second right there. I would like to show you my yarrow sticks that I was about to say cultivated. I didn't cultivate these, but I did harvest these locally, actually, in my own community. Pavel says, love Chinese earth medicine. Always keeps you grounded from the earth to the ethers to oneself. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So this is my little bag that I keep my yarrow stalks in. I also have the coins. I have some Chinese coins as well as 3 early American copper pennies. So they're actually pure copper. And these came off of a pair of glasses for somewhere. Someone had it. They were throwing it away. I was like, oh, I'll take that. And so these are my yarrow sticks right here. There you go. I love to smell them. Oh, they have a nice woody smell. And I had such fun harvesting them and drying them and cutting them. Okay. So let's get back to our reading. Okay. So we know that Zhu means bamboo, and it represents things made from bamboo or grass, and Wu means shaman, and it also represents a predictor. Therefore, Shi literally means a shaman who uses bamboo sticks or yarrow sticks as tools to do a prediction. In general, we call YiJing divination Bu Shi. The original meaning of GUA, trigram, is to decode the answer through divination. Some ancient YiJing scholars interpret GUA as another Chinese character, Gua. Okay, so you couldn't tell it from my pronunciation, but I don't know if you can see right there. So you have the first Gua and that character, and then the other Gua and that character there. Wow, my hands are so dirty. Please forgive me. Don't know what I was doing yesterday. Anyway, okay, let's see, Gua as another Chinese character. The other one is GUA, which means to hang. In other words, it means each GUA in the YiJing is like a picture hanging on the wall so that we can see it clearly. And it hints that a clear answer appears in a GUA in response to the question posed in the divination. During pen studying the meanings of the Chinese character GUA, we can tell that YiJing is a divination book from the Wu, the ancient Chinese shamans. Before you leave today's discussion, I will invite you to do a Tai Chi Qigong movement with me. Okay, so let me just take a quick look. Okay, so I'm going to read very nice and slowly the the Qigong, Qian, heaven movement that he wants you to practice, and, take it from there. Play the video, slow it down, and hear the directions. And it's interesting. I had no idea. I used to do this, and I still do it every now and then, not as what do you call it? What's the word? Consistently as I used to. It's really interesting when you start doing things and you kind of naturally start doing certain exercises, and then you find out later that it's connected to this or that. So let's look at this. Tai Chi, or Tai Chi, Qigong, Qian. Qian is heaven. It is late afternoon on a beautiful autumn day. Well, today is an early morning on a lovely autumn day, and the sun decorates the entire land with its golden yellow light. Let us face now the northwest direction so that we can enjoy the pure and colorful heavenly qi. Now, let us practice the Qian movement. So I'm going to read these nice and slow, and then thank you, Pablo. Pablo says, Tamu, everything is okay. I'm not judging your hands. And Zen, it's the finger pointing to the moon. LOL. Thank you, dear. I can tell I'm feeling a little self-conscious this morning, but it's all good. Hey, I'm only human. We're only human, right? We have our moments. I always admire those women who have perfectly manicured hands and beautiful nail polish. I used to try to paint my nails, but as an artist and like I'm always doing stuff, those nails were always getting chipped and the nail polish, and it was just like, whatever. I can't hang with that. Okay, so let's look at this. Movement. So we're going to have the image on him. Pavel, everything is in according with the Tao. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Welcome, Chi. CC. Sorry, C. Okay, so here we go. Movement. Stand with your feet parallel. Shoulder width apart. So the feet are approximately shoulder width apart. And toes grabbing the earth. Says everything is in accordance with the Tao. Yes, yes. So toes are grabbing the earth. So you're going to stand, nice relaxed pose, your feet shoulder width apart, and almost sort of like your toes are kind of grabbing towards the floor. Straighten your back so it is solid like a mountain. Lift your perineum to seal the Dihu, which is the earthly door. It's the acupuncture point CV1. So the perineum, in case you didn't know, the perineum is like, we're going to talk body parts here, between, I think the perineum is sort of like that center spot. I could be wrong. The perineum is sort of like that center spot between the anus and the more anterior of your body down there, the bottom, between the anus and the vaginal opening for a woman, the butt bone. There you go. There you go. CC said the butt bone. I think, yeah, somewhere right between either for male scrotum and the anus or female vaginal and the anus, somewhere like right there. That's about where the perineum, so you can direct your energy, your attention to like that area. Pull your lower abdomen in. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Stand with your feet parallel, shoulder width apart, toes grabbing the earth. Straighten your back so it is solid like a mountain. Lift your perineum to seal the Dihu, which is earthly door. Pull your lower abdomen in. Open your chest. So if you see, his chest is slightly out a bit, and you can tell his pelvic area is slightly going in that direction, very slightly, so that his perineum is almost sort of like parallel to the floor and going back some, and the feet are shoulder width apart. Open your chest, straighten your neck, and keep your head upright. So your head and your neck, your head is parallel to your shoulder, balanced. Ears, everything is balanced. Imagine your head touching heaven with the Dian Min, heavenly gate. Acupuncture point GV 20 is open. Put the tip of your tongue on the tooth ridge behind your teeth. So your tip of your tongue is up at the top of your mouth, just behind your teeth. Close your teeth and mouth. Keep your shoulders down, arms relaxed, and armpits open. Open your hands with fingers straight. Close your eyes with eyelids relaxed. Take your eyesight within. Listen within. Breathe through your nose and your skin. Adjust your breathing to be slow, smooth, deep, and even. There should be no noise from your breathing. In Chinese, this breathing technique is called Mimi Mian Mian. Mimi Mian Mian, meaning the beginning is soft and unbroken like cotton and silk. Visualization. With your eyes closed, look and listen within to your body. Feel your body split from your waist, with your upper body suspended and your lower body rooted into the earth. Feel the heavenly chi penetrate through the Dian Min down into the Dan Tian. So that means you're going to feel the energy kind of coming down, all the way down. Feel your body split from your waist with your upper body suspended and your lower body rooted into the earth. Feel the heavenly chi penetrate through the Dian Min down to the Dan Tian. Dan Tian is just below the navel. Through your legs and rooted into the earth as you exhale. Feel your body relax, standing like a pine tree. Function. This movement appears to do nothing, but it is doing a great deal because it is a way to awaken, to help you awaken your consciousness, your original life source, and it is creating and nourishing your life force. This movement opens the body and enables us to connect with the universal chi. It helps us learn about the union of the physical body and the spiritual body. Daily practice of this movement strengthens the vital energy, and it is good for rebuilding one's life energy from a state of weakness. It also awakens your spirits. This is the spiritual foundation of YiJing prediction. Now you can rest in the guest room on the northwest side of the tea house. I hope you will enjoy the chi there, and I will see you tomorrow. So this is We are on day 1, our beginning of the study of the Bagua, the 8 hexagrams. And we're starting with heavenly. And I will show you the hexagram for this movement, for this Tai Chi Qigong. This is the hexagram. This is the Gua right here, the Bagua. Okay? And if you look at it, it kind of reminds me of what he was just doing. Like, these are the arms, that's the head, that's the dantian. There's the legs and the heavenly energy going straight down. I didn't know this exercise was related to Qigong. I used to do almost every day, and I still do it occasionally when I think of. And after reading this, I'm going to get back into making sure that I do it every day. In my Reiki practice, which not Western Reiki, but more of a more classical Japanese energetic version of Reiki, I would connect with the 3 gems: heaven, heart, and earth, or heaven, human, and earth, bringing heavenly energy down into, right, and bringing the earthly energy, rising that up. Now that I think about it, that makes sense. Yeah, you got the Qian. I'm sorry, the Qian. Yeah, it's Qian. I was right the first time. Let me see if I can find the earth hexagram, the earth Gua, Bagua. And then there's the earth one, Qian Kun. But we're sticking with the heaven right now. So that's very, very interesting. I hope that you will attempt to practice this. Remember, you're standing with your feet shoulder width apart. You know, nice relaxed stance. Don't harden the knees up. The knees should be a little soft. Toes slightly as if they're almost gripping the ground, just very slightly. You don't want to like this, but more of a, not like this, but more of a gentle like that with your toes. And some long toes, huh? And chest slightly out, shoulders back and down, and your hands just softly to your side. You're not squeezing your arms to your side, so your armpits are a little open. Your tailbone, you kind of have that slightly to the back. Your abdomen is just slightly forward, That's your dantian. And then you just imagine, you just visualize, you just energetically feel, allowing that heavenly energy to pour into your crown. And just feel that heavenly energy just flow down. You just feel it flowing down. And especially pay attention to how that energy feels in your heart area, okay? And then allow it to go down into your dantian. With your dantian, you take your 2 fingers like this, put it just at the bottom tip of your belly button, and then that's where, so then the bottom part of the finger, that's where your dantian is. And that's sort of like your center of gravity, you know. So let's see. All right. So tomorrow, or no, Wednesday, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. I don't think I'll be doing it tomorrow. Wednesday, we will go to day 2. And I believe that's Dui, which means marsh. And Wu Wei, this is the image for Wu Wei. Wu Wei. So we will do that tomorrow. Okay, so where are we? Okay. We are on hexagram number 16, which is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. What do you think of that? So this is from the Tao Oracle by Ma Padma Devi. She is also the creator, the artist for the Osho Zen Tarot. And this is just basically her interpretation, illustration of the Gua, of the hexagrams, the 64 hexagrams. So 16 is titled Enthusiasm, self-expression, inspiring others, self-confidence totality, success, sharing, and positive response. So let's explore hexagram number 16. We can put that bookie there. And we do our initial reading from Brian Brown Walker, the YiJing, or Book of Changes, a guide to life's turning points. And this is more of an interpretation than a translation. And again, as I said, most YiJing English books are sort of somewhere in between interpretation, translation. And the only literal translation that I know of, and where is that book? I don't see it, but it's the translation by the late physicist Kuan. Okay, 16. You, enthusiasm. Whoops. There we go. There, and we can have both at the same time. You, enthusiasm. Proper enthusiasm opens every door. The YiJing teaches that there are two kinds of enthusiasm, one that leads to misfortune and one that leads to success. This hexagram comes as a sign that you can proceed with confidence now if your enthusiasm is properly founded. Improper enthusiasm is fueled by the desires of the ego. People often desire recognition, wealth, power, or freedom from difficulty. Such desire can become so great that we will do anything to achieve them. Our energy rises as we wildly pursue our goal, but this unruly and egotistical enthusiasm inevitably leads us into incorrect and imbalanced behavior and into misfortune. Proper enthusiasm, on the other hand, is fueled by a devotion to attaining and expressing inner balance and inner truth. When your aim is not to influence others or to satisfy your ego, but to follow the guidance of the higher power in all that you do, you acquire another kind of energy, a balanced and bottomless eagerness for living in step with what is right and good. In this, there is true power and true grace. Wow, that's beautiful. I personally needed to hear that today. I needed to hear that. Anyone else needed to hear that one particularly today? I needed to hear that. So give thanks. I'm giving thanks. Let's get back to the reading. This hexagram reminds you that striving out of your ego now will only push you further away from your goals. Seek instead to follow proper principles. Keep to what is innocent, correct, and kind, and the creative will come to your aid. The path of truth is always the path of least resistance. Oh, can I get an amen? That was beautiful. The YiJing, remember, it was written in the ancient Chinese. So even, Chinese interpretations or translations today are still kind of interpretations because it was in ancient Chinese. And the beautiful thing about the Chinese ideograms is they're actually a picture and they tell a story. And you have to know the context of the story to be able to really, truly interpret them correctly. Then you have it brought over into Western lands, into English. And having just one book, a translation of the YiJing, I wouldn't recommend. And even B.MSc Wen, you know, I love my B.MSc Wen. She is an amazing, amazing woman. Check her out, bmscwen.com. She also recommends to have multiple translations of the I Ching. And if you notice in my past recordings, when I've read from the Tao Te Ching, I would read from 4 different translations, and then encourage you to find your interpretation, your feel in the middle of those. And I find this Brian Brown Walker book extremely inspiring. Really love the way he interprets it, interprets it to share with us. It's very inspiring. And just remember, you'll be getting, you know, with the I Ching, this is over 3,000 years tradition, still very relevant to today. You know, check your enthusiasm. Make sure your enthusiasm and motivation is proper and is coming from a balanced place, a good place, so you're not going overboard and you're not going underboard, you know? Keep it innocent. Go with the flow. Ooh, getting goosebumps. I really needed that message. Okay. So here's B.MSc Wen's enthusiasm, motivation, and of course, this GUA, this hexagram, is made up of 2 bagua, thunder on top and earth on the bottom. Demonstrate enthusiasm. Then those of the spirit realms and earthly realms alike will follow you. Honor fellow dignitaries with celebration, and they will honor you. Honor your ancestors and your guides, and they will honor you. To be motivated to achieve, you must first be motivated by the energy of life. Action with enthusiasm. Renounce hesitation. Do not let chronic conditions hold you back. Do not let chronic conditions hold you back. Prepare for an advance. Auspicious to take military action. There is an opportunity for growth. And personally, I interpret that auspicious to take military action. Military action, when you think of a military, they're regimented, they're in line, they're in step, they are prepared, they're disciplined. It doesn't mean to go, you know, crash in, destroy, and kill. I see it as, you know, getting your house in order. That's proper military action. Getting the troops in order. Getting your motivation, your energy, all of that in order. And what was that part? Do not let chronic conditions hold you back. Sometimes we find ourselves, quote unquote, stuck in jobs that we hate, maybe even relationships that we're not entirely happy with, maybe financially challenged. Don't allow those things to hold you back. Start preparing. Start preparing. Pavel says, bright virtues, path of less resistance, non-bright virtue, path of headache. Right on. So there you go. So that was hexagram number 16. And last but not least, we're going a little bit over the hour, but that's okay. I saved this part for last. So those who came only for the reading, it's okay. So we're going to read from Kuan Yin, Accessing the Power of the Divine Feminine. Kuan Yin, the Chinese Bodhisattva goddess of mercy and compassion. And we're a little bit out of step with the numbering, but that's okay, because I think it's appropriate anyway. Kuan Yin of joy, enthusiasm. Hey, go hand in hand, right? Keyword happiness. Kuan Yin sits upon clouds in the royal pose, offering her gentle compassion and her smile. She imparts the spiritual teachings with joy and happiness. In this form, Kuan Yin also protects seekers who are moving toward the peak of realization. Here, Kuan Yin appeals to us to adapt a playful and joyful attitude. Even if we have gone far in life, experienced many falls, and had to start anew, we should, like a child who tirelessly struggles to learn to walk, get up, laugh, and start all over again. I've had 4 children myself, and I tell you, it was an absolute joy watching each and every one of them begin to walk. And even though, you've seen one, you've seen them all, it's not true, because they each have their own special, unique energy. So I'm going to encourage you, get in touch with your inner child. That part of you who just had a joy and a happiness and who was eager to check it all out, That part of you who wasn't ready to go to bed because they were afraid they were going to miss something. Get up, laugh, and start all over again. On the mundane level of suffering, we are carried by Kuan Yin's compassion. And on the spiritual level, we can recognize life as the cosmic game it is and burst into relieved laughter. The combination of serenity and humor loosens the chains of seriousness and our identification with the limitations of ordinary life. And we can face our challenges with calm and ease. Suppose you are on the peak of Mount Sumeru and someone pushes you off. Ooh. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, or as I like to say, think on the power of that one who hears the cries of the world, and you will hang in midair like the sun. Suppose you are pursued by evil men who wish to throw you down from a diamond mountain. Think on the power of the one who hears the cries of the world, and they cannot harm a hair of you. That's from the Lotus Sutra, chapter 25. Contemplation. Get in touch with Kuan Yin of joy. When the serious side of life is weighing heavily upon you, let yourself be inspired by her soft, serene smile, and smile to yourself once again. In this way, you can reconnect to the lightness of being. Focus your attention on those areas in your life that are most cheerful and effortless. I like that. One of my favorite things is, those days when I get up and go and I just feel this incredible lightness of being. And what I mean by that, when I have those days where it's like you put your clothes on and you just feel so good. That moment you're about to step out the door, you look down and say, wait a minute, let me make sure, do I have clothes on? Because I'm feeling mighty light and fine and fly today, almost like I'm just completely naked. That's the feeling of lightness of being, that you just feel so good that the energy is just flowing through you. And it's almost like you don't even have a body at all, because there's no aches, there's no pains, there's no angst in your left butt cheek. You just feel good. You just feel good. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to stop waxing poetically. Welcome, Fractal Truth. Welcome. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you very much. Hope you continue to enjoy your cup of tea. I hope that today's reading in hexagram number 16 and our reading from the Seeking the Spirit of the Book of Change and our exercise, our Qian Tai Chi Qigong exercise. I hope you get a chance to practice that. If you're interested in the video, I know maybe if you did, I'll look on YouTube and see if I can find any videos of Master Zhang Tianwu doing his Qigong Bagua exercises, and I'll try to post that. I will promise you I will do it as soon as this recording finishes. Having practiced the triple gem exercise of bringing down heaven and bringing up the earth and meeting it within the heart, it's a beautiful toroidal flow of energy. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's what he does. We're going to discover that tomorrow. I am going through this book with you, fresh with you. So anyway, so there you go. This is your hexagram for today, hexagram number 16, enthusiasm. We are out of step with the number, but right in step with the momentum. Kuan Yin of joy, keyword happiness, enthusiasm, joy, enthusiasm. They go hand in hand. Enjoy that. Call upon Kuan Yin in your time of need. What is the energy of Kuan Yin? That is that part of you that is an internal, eternal, internal wellspring of compassion and unconditional love and mercy that you have for yourself. Remember, self first and then others. As the air flight stewardess or steward would say, your oxygen mask is above. Please drop it down, put it on yourself first, and then help the person or child next to you. And yes, children are persons too. We're all children. We are all children. So let's take a moment to take a nice deep centering breath so we can release ourselves from this sacred circle. Let's take a moment to remember our ancestors and to remember all those who have come before us. I wish you peace and great bliss. Until next time, this is Tamu and Gina, Priestess Heart. Please remember to thumbs up this video. I would greatly appreciate it if you pass along the energy and share this video on your social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Please invite your friends to this channel. Would love to have more energy here. Would love to hear your input. You can ask your comments or questions in the comment area below. And if you're interested in a one-on-one session, my website and information is listed down below. Again, I wish you peace and great bliss. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Peace.